Some offensive line news just dropped. Offensive tackle Melvin Siani out of Wake Forest has joined the Texas Longhorns as the portal window closes. He went in today, right?
Yeah, got announced today. Yep.
Got announced today and already with the Horns. That's good stuff. If you wanted to hear about this before the video, you should be on Inside Texas. 50% off the Transfer Portal Ultimate Fan Bundle right now. We would love to see you over there. All right, Eric, this is something that you pointed out to me to be prepared for, man. But what are your thoughts program wise? What are they trying to do here with this edition?
Yeah, he's a stud. Just went in today. Already was in On3's top 25 portal rankings, and I couldn't agree more with that. Not only is he highly rated on PFF, he's got all the traits. He's got NFL traits all day long. What I really, really like about this is that he's got multiple years of eligibility. With all this stuff that's going on with the portal and the exports and the imports, you're looking at the potential of a total rebuild of the line next year. Connor Robertson will be gone. Gooseby will be gone. If they had Jordan Seaton, he would be gone. So now we're looking at it's going to be a little bit easier to rebuild. You'll have next year in 2027, you'll have Siani because he is going to be good this year at right tackle. And then Baker will either have solidified a guard spot or go right back to right tackle. So you're going to have a pretty good nucleus. If you have both your tackles solidified going into 2027, man, it's going to make it a lot easier to figure out the interior.
Yeah, absolutely. And he has about 3 years that he's done. He had 118 snaps in 2023, 600 in 2024, and then 858 last year. So a lot of experience too, right? So you get runway, but production. And I think that matters ultimately too.
Yeah, this is something I mentioned the other day on the board. This is what you're looking for. You want if you're going to go portal, which I think is a wise decision on offensive line, because you're not going to have to carry them for multiple years while they're developing. Offensive line have the longest runway, the longest developmental arc out of all the players. Here you got a guy that's already not fully formed, but pretty far along the way, and now you're going to get him at his best for 2 years. And it's better to have them before they get their best. Otherwise, it costs a whole lot more to try to find them. So this is really kind of the sweet spot of where you want to find offensive linemen if you can. Now, obviously, everybody would love to be able to pull that off. Not everybody can. This is just a really, really good development. You and I were talking offline previously about this, and where we actually like it better than Seaton when you figure out the cost of it all. Potential is probably better in the run game. You noticed some things. I'd like to get your thoughts to the people.
Yeah, so I did an eval here. One thing to point out, 2025, he had 9 pressures. For example, like Brandon Baker, we're looking at our tackle, had 23, right? So there's a difference there in just not letting things get to the quarterback as much. You want the eval on Seaton, or do you want this eval on Siani?
I want the eval on the guy that just committed to Texas.
Well, you led with the difference between the two. So I think he's going to be stronger in the run game 100%. So just quick notes from the eval. Good feet to reach, block, and turn guys. He has a fast gallop on outside zone. He has the speed to move well on front side pulls and sweeps. Moves well in space when tracking a target. It's not enough to just run and look nice. You need to be able to get to where you're actually going. It's an aggressive down blocker. Needs a little bit more steam to build up there, but that's that kind of a tackly thing. Not a lot of pop from standstill run blocking, but he doesn't get knocked back, and so he kind of can stalemate a little bit, but he's not getting shoved. And good awareness of where the ball will go and will screen and close out. So a lot of flood stuff, if you look at their run blocking, is just kind of turning and creating a decision lane for the running back. He does a bunch of that. So I thought he was much more solid in run blocking. First things first there. Any thoughts on that, Eric?
Well, I think they are going to go to more outside zone, and he's got the athleticism length to get that done. Especially, if Baker plays inside, he's going to be really good at running outside zone. Not exact, strength at the point of attack won't be his strength. It's going to be a really good pass blocking line, which I think is what they're always going to select for, especially when you have Arch and you just added Cam Coleman and you've got Ryan Wingo and about 3 guys that can play slot. And I think it's definitely going to be err more on the side of pass blocking than run blocking, which is a little frustrating because we've seen that run game stall against better teams. But there's still going to be a lot more ways to relieve pressure on the run game than we've seen in the past. So I'm not too worried about it. I love some of the perimeter pieces that they've gotten. You've got Masunis on the side of this guy, run blocking. It's going to look pretty dang nice. So I feel really good about it. One of the questions in here was what position is he going to play? We probably should have led with that. He'll be right tackle. And, right tackle in 2026, and he's got the whole shot on 2027 replacing Trevor Gooseby.
Yeah, left tackle. So pass blocking notes, above average first step on pass sets. He stays under control. He's aware of the inside move. He doesn't overset. That's a positive. He diagnoses the rush type quickly, whether it's going to be a speed rush outside, bull rush, inside move. Does really well there. He can catch a little bit in pass pro. Doesn't always extend arms for arm advantage, but it seemed like his arm length was good there. Handled games well. That's something that we struggled with. So that's important. That also shows intelligence. He also will find work if his man doesn't fire. That was another big thing that we struggled with at Texas. And I noted too, a mobile quarterback will be able to evade any of these few pressures that he did give up. They're not busts. So Art's going to be fine here and at right tackle 100%. So I think this is a really solid decision. I think it makes sense going forward, giving you more runway. And I think he has the right production there with 9 pressures. I think this is a smart, correct move to pick him up.
Yeah, I would like to, I'd love to see a little bit more game tape and figure out how those penalties came to be. He had 7 penalties.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go again. I'm not sure that those will get coached out of them, but I'd love to know what's going on. Were they holding? Were they pre-snap? That sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'd rather than be holding almost, just because, the pre-snap penalties are so freaking mind-boggling at this point. A lot of people worried about guards in here. Somebody said that Justin was saying earlier that Baker wouldn't start at guard. Well, we don't know that. We have no idea. Baker could be a swing tackle. Baker could be a guard. If Baker has enough punch at the point of attack, then he's going to be guard, because he's going to be a plus blocker in pass sets as a guard no matter what. Or he could be a swing tackle. We'll see. There's a lot to play out. I know a lot of people are still worried about guards. The same people that are worried about guards on Inside Texas. They were worried about tackles the other day, and before that, they were worried about depth. They were worried, hey, why are they taking special teams and nobody else? They just need something to worry about. Guards should get figured out pretty quick.
You want Baker to be able to play guard, because you're basically getting a right tackle and a free guard out of this. So you're not having to add that. And on top of that, he can still be your third tackle if he doesn't win the competition. Right. So it's like you want him at guard with third tackle optionality.
It's hard for me to believe that he wouldn't be one of the best 5. Do you think they're going to add a good guard? Like I've been reporting on Inside Texas for the last few days. I said I've been watching for a tackle. I've been watching for a guard. Well, today we saw the tackle. We'll see if that guard materializes. None of this stuff is really surprising to our board, where, the second this guy went, I said, well, he's definitely somebody to watch. Look how good he is. It's pretty obvious, just putting 2 and 2 together there. And I think they're going to be just as have just as much resolve to get a guard. I've been laying out the process. The process is not nearly as bad as people are saying it is. Look at this guy, look at the tackles that are better in the portal than him right now. Can you please find them? Everybody said, oh, A&M's got 2, the Tyree Adams and the Wilkin Fromby. Those guys are mid. Those guys, Tyree has some mobility. Texas could have had those guys if they wanted. Texas waited and got the guy that they, that really fits what they're trying to do. He's better than pretty much any other tackle out there. The Peak kid from North Carolina State, there's a question mark there. And then, of course, you've got Seaton, who's very talented, but I'm not sure that he's better, and I'm not sure he's a better fit when you account for cash that he's going to cost, or the fact that he's only got 1 year of eligibility.
Yeah, and he's from Canada, so we continue our international roster with Canoe as well. So we've picked up a Canadian originally on the squad here. All righty. Any final thoughts, Eric?
Well, I guess I can't duck all the Seaton questions. I'm going to
oh, yeah, Quentin, here we go. Out on Seaton now.
The latest intel I've got on him is he's probably not going to end up in the class, but I still need to figure out what. I'd rather get a little more harder intel, and then I'll go update Inside Texas when I figure that out. I'm waiting to hear back on some stuff. But right now, I'd be fading Seaton, and I know people are really excited about him because there's a bit of a stargazing aspect of it. I get that. He's a very exciting talent. But, man, the cost on that, and then the fact that he's only got 1 year of eligibility, then would he be willing to play right tackle? And you've got Gooseby, who's not obviously he deserves left tackle. I mean, it's just it makes it a little bit more difficult. But right now they got a very important piece. They've got 4 guys basically figured out as starters. I do think Baker will be one of the 5, and then Connor Robertson. But they're not done, man. They're still looking at guards. I think that this is a very big piece, and now guards are a little bit easier to find than tackles. So I'm not too worried. I will get excited if the guy that I've heard through agent circles goes in, because then I think Texas will get involved there. We wait and see.
Good stuff, man. Pulling up something real quick here, stat-wise. We see how quick I am to do it. Maybe not quick enough. No, it's freezing up on me. I was looking at something, but yes, that's the thing. With Seton, really fun eval is going to pop on tape, but you look at what you get from Siani here. He's a consistent player, low pressure rate, doing all the right things. Production there for potentially less cost, right? So probably something wise, but we'll see how that all ends up. All right, Eric, you calling any more shots today, man? Or are we good to go?
Man, I'm just the day hit another step when I saw that dude go in. I'm hoping that we get to hit another gear. If I could see another right person. I'm still tracking down some things that they're missing from the portal. No, it's fun. Things are rounding into shape. I've been writing a lot about it. People have kind of been doubting it, and I think with each new development, people are starting to see that okay, they didn't just have a plan at every other position and then just exclude offensive line. They actually had a plan at offensive line too, which was by far the most important position coming into the portal. So that's just logically follows.
Cool. You know where to get the good stuff. 50% off the Ultimate Fan Bundle, our website, Inside Texas, paired with On3 for your national football news, and of course, Rivals for recruiting. Everyone, have an awesome, awesome day. We will see you a little bit later for Night Live. Peace out.